Hi, I'm Ian Farthing. I'm the Artistic Director of the St. Lawrence Shakespeare Festival. And we're here on stage in Prescott with one of our lead actors this year, Quincy Armorer. Hi, Quincy.
Hello, Ian.
It's good to have you here.
It's great to be here.
How are you enjoying your summer so far?
I'm having a great time. It's such a joy to be back in Prescott doing the festival, and we're having such a good time.
What are the roles you're playing this summer?
I am playing the Duke Orsino in Twelfth Night, and also the first Captain Dumaine in All's Well That Ends Well.
And you say this is your second time back here. What did you play when you were here before?
Last time I was here was 2008, and we did As You Like It. I played Orlando, and then I was the Prince of Morocco and the Duke of Venice in The Merchant of Venice.
And he was very good in both shows, who saw the shows. And so, between that time, you've been working at Stratford.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us something about that? You know, the nation's premier Shakespeare Festival. How does that compare to working in little old Prescott?
You know what? I had a great time when I was there. It's Stratford, and it's, you know, the place that I wanted to work when I first thought about becoming an actor and going into the theater. So to be able to be there for a couple of years was great. I did conservatory for a couple of years under the direction of Martha Henry, who was just spectacular. And I learned a lot, and I got to work with some of the greatest actors in our business. So it was 2 years of joy, really. Yeah.
And have you always wanted to be an actor?
I guess it goes back to really high school, but yeah, for a very, very long time I've wanted to do this. From the first time I did a show, actually it was in elementary school in grade 6, and the teacher told me that I would be playing Huckleberry Finn in the musical production of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. So basically I had no choice, but that was the first time I guess I was bitten by the bug, and I've wanted to do it ever since.
It's interesting, because like me, your family has nothing to do with theatre.
Nothing at all.
So where do you think that passion came from? What gave you the bug?
I don't know. I mean, I was a very shy kid. When I was really, really small, I was always, you know, the kids would be off playing, and I was always, you know, under my mother, hiding behind her skirt. So everyone was surprised that I was the one who wanted to be on the stage and put myself out there. So I don't know if it was just a matter of discovering who I was or wanting to come out of, you know, the kind of shy kid that I was when I was younger. But from the first time I stepped onto the stage, I just knew that that's what I wanted to be doing.
Mm-hmm. And well, we're glad you are.
Thank you.
And you know, actors always have their dream roles that they want to undertake. Are there any that are on your bucket list?
There's a few. I've managed to play a couple of them so far, which is great.
What were they?
Hamlet.
Uh-huh.
Got to play Hamlet, which was quite a joy, quite a challenge. And it's one of those things where I'm glad I got a chance to do it. I hope I get to do it again, because I've learned and grown so much since then. So I hope I get another shot at it. And then being a Shakespearean actor, being a black Shakespearean actor, Othello, of course, is on my list. So I'd like to play that. And I got to play Aaron in Titus Andronicus a few years ago, the Shakespeare's other black guy. So that was fun.
So, who's one of your favorite actors and why?
Oh, wow. That's such a loaded question. I could usually never narrow it down to just one person, but someone that I really enjoy watching a lot is Glenn Close, actually. And I don't quite know what it is about her, but ever since seeing her in movies years ago, back in Fatal Attraction days and Dangerous Things, so I've just always been drawn to her. She's got this thing that makes me not want to be able to take my eyes off of her, and she's just so brilliant and talented. So she's up on my list. Oh my God, I could go on. I mean, Denzel, of course, for what some might call obvious reasons, but there's just the talent and the specificity with what a lot of actors bring to their parts is something that I watch and admire and try to achieve and learn from. So yeah, I could go on at length for actors that I admire. So.
Well, let's talk about Twelfth Night. You're playing Duke Orsino, who starts the play with that famous speech. Do you want to give us just a little clip of that top?
If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that surfeiting the appetite may sicken and so die. It's such rich words. I love getting to say that.
Yeah. And we've got some beautiful music in this show too. If you want to come and see some great music as part of the show, this is the one for you. Talking about Orsino's journey in the play.
Well, he starts off in madly in love with the Countess Olivia, and he's basically pining over her. You know, some people would say that they're not sure if he's actually in love or he's just in love with the idea of being in love. You know, but he's sort of kind of tunnel vision on her and stuck in that, so that when Viola Cesario comes to his court, this young page boy, he takes a liking to him and doesn't quite, you know, obviously doesn't know that she's a woman. And then there's an interesting relationship that starts to develop between them. And so by the time you get to the end of it, when he realizes that he can actually love her, it's there's quite a switch. So it's an interesting thing. It was fun to sort of figure out, how do you do that? Where does this character go when he's clearly so, you know, focused on this one woman, and then all of a sudden at the end he's offering his hand in marriage to another one. So it was fun to discover exactly who he is.
Are there moments during the play where Orsino perhaps has his doubts about who Cesario is, do you think?
There's a couple places, especially the way that it's been directed by by Craig. Just a couple of moments where we get in a little bit close and we're playing it so that there's some electricity or something that's starting to happen that he doesn't quite understand or know, and he's confused by it, and so we sort of leave that open for a bit, and then they come together in another scene, and then there's another one of those. So he's starting to, I don't know, wonder what's going on with this page boy in a way. So we're having fun with playing with the, you know, Viola being in love with him and him feeling something but not knowing what it is. It's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
Really great. Yeah.
So you have worked at Stratford, which has some very big stages with big auditoriums. And then you come to Prescott, where we're outdoors in an amphitheater, which is actually a pretty big stage.
It's pretty big, and it's a beautiful space. You can get a lot of people in here.
What are some of the challenges of working outdoors?
Other than the squirrels, you know what? I think one of the best things, I love being outdoors. For one thing, it reminds me of perhaps the way that they used to do Shakespeare back at the Globe 400 years ago. I mean, it was sort of enclosed, but you know, you can look up and see the sky, and so there's something really great about being able to perform outdoors. Some of the challenges are, you know, one of the things that you think would be a challenge, people walking by or anything like that, it doesn't really bother me or affect me. When you're focused on, you know, on stage and playing the scene, it doesn't really bother me. I guess one of the good things about being in a theater, especially when like at Stratford where they're so well designed, is that the acoustics are fantastic. You can play your voice off of the different walls and the structures, whereas in here, it's a little bit different. It's kind of open.
You have to work harder.
You have to work a little bit harder, make sure you're heard, and it's, you know, you have to open up to everybody. But I like being outdoors doing Shakespeare. There's an interesting connection with the audience that's different than when you're in a theater, because it's just, I don't know, in some ways it's a little freer.
Well, you can see them, and they can see you. There's no dark theater. There's no separation between what's happening on stage and there. You're part of them, and I like that connection.
Me too. I do a lot.
It makes it very informal.
Yeah.
And I think it helps the audience to get more into the play.
It puts them more at ease, I think, which is great.
It's not stuffy.
Exactly.
People just come out and kick back and enjoy themselves. Anyway, so thanks for chatting with us, Quincy. I hope you have a fantastic summer here, and we look forward to following your career from here on in.
Excellent.
Quincy Armorer.
Thank you.